Well, folks, it's been quite a weekend, and of course, much of it happening here in New York City, also in New Jersey, and in Minnesota, where a Somali soldier of ISIS, so says ISIS, shouted Allah Akbar and stabbed 8 people. And if it weren't for an off-duty cop with a gun, you know, Barack Obama today alluded to the fact, thanking that officer, off-duty officer, but he used a gun. Otherwise, that guy could have gone on stabbing and stabbing and stabbing and slicing and dicing. But that's beside the point just a little bit. Politics reared its ugly head. The mayor of New York, so reluctant to the bitter end to say that this was terror, so reluctant to say anything about it. I mean, these were bombs made the way they make them in the Palestinian, the Palestinians to kill Jews. They put the ball bearings in, they put the nails in. In Israel, they dip the nails, the terrorists do, in rat poison. So when they go enter the person, that goes right into the bloodstream. I guess this guy wasn't as sophisticated, thank goodness. So anyway, here's what Donald Trump had to say today about the terror attacks.
First of all, these are sick people, okay? These are sick, evil people that want to destroy this country. And the way we coddle them and the way we're afraid to say anything, and we're afraid to say what the problem is and who they are, and they don't want to say radical Islam. They don't want to talk about radical Islamic terrorism. Obama won't even say the words, neither will Hillary Clinton.
But those are just words. What do you mean by getting tough? What do you mean by getting tough, though?
We're going to have to hit them much harder over there.
Yeah, and he had more to say on this.
Our local police, they know who a lot of these people are. They're afraid to do anything about it because they don't want to be accused of profiling, and they don't want to be accused of all sorts of things. You know, in Israel, they profile. They've done an unbelievable job, as good as you can do.
Sure.
But Israel has done an unbelievable job, and they'll profile. They profile. They see somebody that's suspicious, they will profile. They will take that person in. They'll check out, do we have a choice? Look what's going on. Do we really have a choice? We're trying to be so politically correct in our country. And this is only going to get worse. This isn't going to get better.
And, of course, we're being asked to profile. If you see something, say something. But if you do that normally, you're called a bigot. And one more from Donald Trump.
We're going to have to do something extremely tough over there, okay?
Like what?
Over there. Like knock the hell out of them. And we have to get everybody together, and we have to lead for change because we're not knocking them. We're hitting them every once in a while. We're hitting them in certain places. We're being very gentle about it. We're going to have to be very tough, and you have other countries over there that are getting devastated far more than we are, and you have to get them together. It's called leadership, and they have to fight. You know, they have to fight the battle. The battle's over there, and we have to fight the battle. And we can't let any more people come into this country. And when we have bad ones, you know, we have people going over fighting for ISIS and coming back, and we know they're fighting for ISIS, and we take them.
Right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now let me point out that the suspect, Ahmad Rami, was shot. It was a shootout in Linden, New Jersey, and he has been taken away to the hospital. And at least two police officers have also reportedly been hit during that shootout, and they are also hospital bound. Joining us now, Tom DeLay, former U.S. House Majority Leader, former Republican Congressman from the great state of Texas, and author of a great new book, very important book, Revival, Revolution, Rebirth, a radical call from the former Majority Leader of the United States. Hello, sir.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing well. All right, so let's talk about this. Donald Trump, you might have heard some of the comments he made. Hillary Clinton, we have to reach out to the Muslim community, blah, blah, blah. Same old, same old. I'm surprised she didn't, retread the line that she famously used. Muslims have absolutely nothing to do with terror. So does this, politically speaking, help Donald Trump, unfortunately or unfortunately?
No, I think it helps Donald Trump. I just wished he would say what's happening to America. I wish he would say we are at war, and we need to treat it as a war, not a crime, like the Democrats. The Democrats want to wait until something happens, wait until people are killed, and then investigate it. This is a war. The ISIS is at war with us, whether we like it or not. and we have to recognize it as war. You know, one of the things I admired about George W. Bush was that on 9/11, within 15 minutes, I was there. He knew that we were at war, and he treated it as a war, not as a crime. And therefore, for almost 10 years, we didn't have these kinds of attacks in America. Because why? Because we were going after the bad guys in any way that we could go after them over there, and kept them so busy they couldn't mess with us over here. The same thing has to happen. But now they're spread out to, 20 countries all over America, all over the world, because of Obama's weak policy. So it's going to be even more difficult to go after them than it would have been 2 or 3 or 4 years ago.
But Congressman, you say you would want to hear Donald Trump say we're at war. Do you feel I mean, I don't know if he's actually said those words. Do you feel he's not said that, or is not implying that, and implying that he understands the difference between what Hillary thinks it is and what he believes it is? Has he not defined that difference?
Well, I think he's trying to define that difference. What you just showed on your show is we need to be tough, we need to go after them, we need to be aggressive. That's all well and good, but the people of the United States needs to hear from their leaders that we are at war, so that they can convince themselves that we have to do anything and everything that we need to do to eliminate these people that are trying to kill us. So it's sort of like the opposite of us criticizing Obama because he won't call it radical Islamic terrorism. We have to get in a war mind so that we can go do the things that need to be done to kill these people.
All right, let's talk about the election itself. We have the polls. First of all, let me ask you this, and I'm going to do much of this in my Gimme 5 at the end. But I'm going to present, David Plouffe ripping the Clinton campaign back in 2008 for putting out a picture of Obama in Muslim garb, greeting an elder statesman. You remember that picture? I'm going to put out the former campaign director of Hillary Clinton admitting that a staffer started the emails of the birther movement. I played sound bites of Jesse Jackson praising Donald Trump back in the 90s, honoring him at his event, saying he gives us money, he gave us space at this building and that building, he's a great man. Why don't you think it's that the Trump campaign should get this? If I'm playing it, if I know it, shouldn't he be putting that stuff in commercials, and shouldn't his surrogates be presenting this?
Absolutely, and his surrogates ought to be doing it, not so much him, because the national media, the lamestream media will turn it on him like they did over the weekend. But the point is that you and I were there. We were there for the election of 2008, and those of us that were heavily involved in the elections and in politics knew that this was rampant underneath the campaign. Everywhere people were talking about this issue, and everybody was talking about it because it was being driven by the Clinton campaign. They were trying to destroy Obama without Clinton getting her hands dirty. I mean, it was everywhere. We don't have to prove that she was behind it. We know that she was behind it.
Yeah, but the media won't say it like you said. So you agree with me that the surrogates really have to do a better job, right?
Absolutely. It seems to me that his cheerleaders have been very quiet over the weekend in defending Trump on this issue. Maybe it is that the campaign is saying it's over with, we're not going to discuss it, we're going to move on, and the media is trying to drive it. That's a good strategy. But at the same time, when you're on television and you're asked the question, you got to defend it.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so where are we now? The polls, we see them. I mean, the LA Times poll now has Trump by like 7. We know that the battleground states have tightened up, almost all of them. Trump leading in many of them. The electoral college map now, according to Reuters, is a toss-up. I mean, this is a huge turnaround, while all the while, surrogates being what they are, and Trump running no commercials, and Hillary constantly badgering him with this commercial, showing him cursing and this and that, and it's obviously not working.
It's not working. I think the American people have had enough of Clinton. They've had it up to here, and they're not. That's obvious in the polls. And I've said over a month ago that Trump has a clear path to get the 270 electoral votes that he needs. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be very hard. Obviously, Clinton starts out with a big lead in the Electoral College, but at the same time, Trump is doing what he needs to be doing. He's accomplishing what he needs to accomplish, and the American people are starting to pay attention, and they know they don't want Hillary Clinton.
Yep. Congressman, great to talk to you again, sir. We'll have you back soon.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, the book, Revival, Revolution, Rebirth. Revival, Revolution, Rebirth, Tom DeLay. When we come back, we're going to go in depth and take an in-depth look with two experts on the horrific events of the weekend. Bernard Kerik, former commissioner of the NYPD, and our friend Jonathan Gilliam, former Navy SEAL, former FBI agent. They will both be here again. The suspect of prime interest is in custody after a shootout in New Jersey. We're coming back with a lot more breaking news all over the place. Do not go away.